25 holiday traditions from the 1960s and 70s that vanished completely. Remember when the holidays felt completely different? The 1960s and 70s were filled with traditions that made December magical in ways we've almost forgotten. Today, we're exploring 25 cherished holiday customs that have disappeared from American life. Let's start with aluminum Christmas trees. These shimmering silver trees were the height of modern sophistication in the 1960s, with their metallic branches reflecting colored lights from rotating color wheels. Families would spend over $25 in 1965 money, about $240 today, for a 6-foot aluminum tree from companies like Evergleam. The trees couldn't hold traditional lights due to electrical hazard risks, so color wheels projected red, blue, green, and gold onto the reflective branches. By 1969, over 2 million American homes displayed these space-age trees. Charlie Brown's Christmas special in 1965 actually helped kill their popularity by mocking them as symbols of commercialization. Today's vintage collectors pay thousands for original aluminum trees, but back then, they represented the future of Christmas. Most ended up in landfills by the mid-1970s when natural trees regained favor. Door-to-door caroling. Picture bundled-up neighbors showing up at your door on a snowy December evening, singing Silent Night in 4-part harmony. Throughout the 1960s and early 70s, caroling groups would traverse entire neighborhoods, often organized by churches or community centers. Groups carried songbooks and sometimes collected donations for local charities. Homeowners would invite carolers inside for hot cocoa and cookies, turning each stop into a mini-party. Kids looked forward to these evenings all year, practicing songs in school music classes starting in November. The tradition required close-knit neighborhoods where people knew each other by name. Insurance concerns, stranger danger awareness, and suburban sprawl gradually killed door-to-door caroling by the 1980s. Some churches still organize caroling at nursing homes, but spontaneous neighborhood caroling has vanished. Today's kids would find the idea of knocking on strangers' doors at night completely foreign. Department store window displays. Downtown department stores like Gimbel's, Wanamaker's, and Marshall Field's transform their windows into elaborate animated wonderlands each holiday season. These weren't simple mannequin arrangements, but full theatrical productions with moving trains, dancing elves, and mechanical Santa workshops. Families would make special trips downtown just to walk along and view each store's displays. Parents would lift small children onto their shoulders for better views through crowds 5 people deep. The displays changed weekly throughout December, encouraging multiple visits. Department stores spent hundreds of thousands creating these spectacles, employing teams of artists, engineers, and designers year-round. Major newspapers reviewed window displays like theatrical productions. The death of downtown shopping and rise of suburban malls eliminated most elaborate window displays by 1980. While some stores like Macy's maintain the tradition, the communal experience of families window shopping together downtown has disappeared entirely. Homemade fruitcakes. Every household had that aunt or grandmother who started baking fruitcakes in October, soaking dried fruits in brandy or rum for weeks. These dense, alcohol-preserved cakes could last months without refrigeration, making them perfect gifts to mail across country. Recipe cards passed down through generations specified exact ratios of candied cherries, citron, dates, and nuts. Women would bake dozens of small loaves wrapped in cheesecloth and stored in tins. The ritual included weekly feeding with more alcohol throughout November. A proper fruitcake cost more to make than buying a store cake. But the tradition mattered more than economics. Recipients displayed fruitcakes on special plates even if nobody actually ate them. Johnny Carson's running jokes about regifted fruitcakes helped kill their reputation in the late 1970s. Today, fruitcake is more punchline than dessert, and the elaborate homemade versions have virtually disappeared from American holidays. Christmas Club savings accounts. Banks offered special Christmas Club accounts where customers deposited small amounts weekly all year to save for holiday shopping. Starting each January, people would deposit $5 or $10 weekly, receiving a check for the total plus interest in early December. Over 20 million Americans participated in Christmas clubs during their 1960s peak. Banks provided special passbooks and payment coupons, making saving feel official and important. Missing a payment meant starting over, teaching discipline about holiday spending. Tellers knew customers by name and reminded them about deposits. The accounts prevented holiday debt and taught children about saving money. Banks competed for Christmas Club customers with prizes and higher interest rates. Credit cards and year-round sales eliminated the need for dedicated holiday savings by the 1980s. Modern automatic transfers served the same purpose, but lacked the communal anticipation of everyone receiving their Christmas Club checks simultaneously. TV variety show Christmas specials. Every major entertainer from Andy Williams to Perry Como hosted elaborate Christmas variety specials throughout December. These weren't simple concert broadcasts, but full productions with guest stars, comedy sketches, and elaborate sets. Families planned their evenings around these specials, which only aired once each season. Missing Andy Williams's Christmas show meant waiting an entire year for another chance. The specials featured current pop stars alongside traditional performers, bridging generational gaps. Sets recreated winter wonderlands with fake snow, ice skating rinks, and Victorian villages. Sponsors like Hallmark and General Electric backed these expensive productions as prestige projects. Ratings for Christmas specials often exceeded regular programming by 50%. Cable television's arrival fragmented audiences, making expensive variety specials economically unfeasible. Today's on-demand streaming means holiday specials lack the communal viewing experience that made them special events. Real candles on Christmas trees. German and Scandinavian families maintained old-world traditions of clipping actual burning candles to tree branches through the early 1970s. Special clip-on candle holders with counterweights kept candles vertical while tiny metal shields protected branches. Families would light candles for just 30 minutes on Christmas Eve while singing carols. Someone stood ready with a bucket of water and wet towels for emergencies. The ritual required everyone's complete attention, creating an almost religious atmosphere. Insurance companies started refusing coverage for house fires caused by tree candles in the 1960s. Fire departments launched aggressive campaigns showing burned homes and injured children. Electric lights had existed since 1882, but traditionalists insisted nothing matched real candlelight's warmth. By 1975, selling tree candles became illegal in many states. Today's LED lights are safer, but lack the danger and beauty that made real candles memorable. Christmas card photo sessions. Families dressed in matching outfits for annual Christmas card photos at professional portrait studios. Sears, JCPenney, and local photographers offered special holiday packages starting in October. Mothers coordinated everyone's clothing down to matching socks and hair ribbons. Studios provided fake snow, painted backdrops of fireplaces, and props like oversized candy canes. Getting small children to smile simultaneously required bribes and multiple attempts. Photographers used actual film, making each shot expensive and irreplaceable. Families ordered hundreds of wallet-sized prints to include with Christmas cards. The photos became family historical documents, tracking children's growth and fashion changes. Digital photography and smartphone cameras killed professional portrait studios by enabling infinite retakes at home. Midnight mass attendance. Catholic and Protestant churches packed midnight Christmas Eve services with families who attended no other service all year. Churches added folding chairs in aisles and broadcast services to overflow rooms via closed-circuit television. Attending midnight mass was cultural tradition beyond religious obligation, marking Christmas's official beginning. Children stayed awake past bedtime, wearing new Christmas outfits received that evening. Churches hired professional musicians and rented additional organs for these services. The ideal combination of incense, candlelight, and carol singing created sensory memories lasting decades. Parking lots overflowed onto side streets as entire extended families attended together. Social pressure to attend midnight mass was intense in small communities. Changing demographics, decreased religious participation, and safety concerns about late-night driving reduced attendance dramatically. Most churches now offer earlier midnight masses at 10 p.m. or eliminate them entirely, popcorn and cranberry garlands. Families spent entire evenings threading popcorn and fresh cranberries onto string to create tree garlands. This required popping corn without butter or salt, letting it cool, then carefully pushing needles through each kernel. Children learned patience and fine motor skills while creating decorations. Fresh cranberries added color but were expensive and required gentle handling to avoid staining. A single tree required hundreds of feet of garland, representing hours of work. The garlands attracted mice and went moldy within days, requiring disposal immediately after Christmas. Making garlands was less about economy than creating memories and teaching traditions. Mothers saved special needles and thread specifically for annual garland-making sessions. Commercial tinsel and manufactured garlands offered easier alternatives by the mid-1970s. Today's families might attempt one small garland for nostalgia, but won't cover entire trees. Company Christmas bonuses. Most employers gave substantial cash Christmas bonuses through the 1970s, often equaling a week's or month's salary. These weren't performance bonuses, but universal holiday gifts to all employees. Companies presented bonuses at holiday parties with ceremony and personal thanks. Workers depended on Christmas bonuses for holiday shopping and counted them as guaranteed income. Some companies gave turkeys, hams, or gift certificates instead of cash. The bonus tradition built loyalty and made employees feel valued beyond their productivity. Unions negotiated Christmas bonuses into contracts as standard benefits. Economic recessions in the 1970s forced companies to cut bonuses permanently. Today's performance-based bonuses lack the universal goodwill gesture of traditional Christmas bonuses. Advent calendars with religious pictures. Traditional Advent calendars contained detailed biblical scenes behind each door, teaching children the Christmas story throughout December. These imported German calendars featured beautiful artwork of angels, shepherds, and nativity scenes. Parents used calendar openings for daily Bible readings and discussions about Christmas's religious meaning. The final door on December 24th revealed baby Jesus in the manger. Calendars were saved and reused annually, becoming family heirlooms covered with tape. Finding Advent calendars required visiting specialty shops or religious bookstores. The anticipation of opening each tiny door taught patience and built excitement gradually. Chocolate-filled calendars appeared in the 1970s, shifting focus from religious education to treats. Today's Advent calendars contain everything from toys to makeup, completely divorced from religious origins. Traditional religious Advent calendars are nearly impossible to find in mainstream stores. Homemade candy production. Families spent entire December weekends making divinity, fudge, pralines, and peanut brittle from scratch. These recipes required candy thermometers, perfect timing, and weather cooperation since humidity affected results. Mothers taught daughters secret family recipes and techniques passed through generations. Making candy was a social event with neighbors, sharing specialties and exchanging samples. The kitchen became a production facility with cooling racks covering every surface. Homemade candy gifts came in decorated tins, saved and returned annually for refills. Recipients knew exactly who made the best peanut brittle or maple fudge in town. Failed batches were learning experiences, not disasters requiring store purchases. Commercial candy's year-round availability and working mothers' time constraints ended most homemade candy traditions. Today's homemade treats are usually simple cookies, not complex candies requiring specialized skills. Christmas seals campaigns. The American Lung Association sold decorative Christmas seals to place on holiday mail starting in 1907, raising millions annually through the 1970s. These weren't postage, but colorful stickers featuring holiday designs that people added to envelope backs. Schools competed to sell the most seals, with prizes for top sellers. Receiving mail without Christmas seals seemed cheap or uncaring during peak years. The seals cost pennies, but their presence showed charitable spirit and community participation. Post offices provided special cancellation stamps acknowledging Christmas seal campaigns. Celebrities like Elvis Presley and Bob Hope promoted Christmas seals on television and radio. Direct mail appeals included sample seals, assuming people would feel obligated to contribute. Email and declining letter writing killed Christmas seals' relevance by the 1990s. The campaign still exists, but raises a fraction of previous amounts. Telephone party lines during holidays. Rural and suburban families sharing party lines had to negotiate phone use during peak holiday calling times. Multiple households shared one line, requiring courtesy and scheduled calling times. Picking up the phone might reveal neighbors mid-conversation, requiring immediate hang-ups. Christmas Eve and Christmas Day required informal scheduling so everyone could receive calls. Children learned phone etiquette by being scolded for listening to neighbors' conversations. Emergency calls required neighbors to immediately clear the line when asked. Party lines made holiday secrets impossible since neighbors might overhear gift discussions. Some communities established phone trees for sharing holiday news efficiently. Private lines were expensive luxuries most families couldn't afford until the 1970s. Today's unlimited calling makes the concept of sharing phone lines incomprehensible to younger generations. Live Christmas trees in burlap balls. Families bought living trees with root balls wrapped in burlap, planning to plant them after the holidays. These trees cost more than cut trees, but represented environmental consciousness and permanent memories. Keeping trees alive indoors required daily watering and cool locations away from heating vents. Families ceremoniously planted trees on New Year's Day if ground wasn't frozen. Suburban yards filled with previous year's Christmas trees, creating privacy screens. The tradition required home ownership and permanent residence assumptions common in the 1960s. Moving meant leaving behind growing monuments to past Christmases. Most root ball trees died from indoor heat stress despite careful attention. Today's mobile society and smaller yards make planting annual trees impractical. Artificial trees and tree recycling programs replace the living tree tradition. New Year's calling cards. The upper-middle-class tradition of New Year's Day social calls survived into the 1960s in some communities. Men would visit neighbors and business associates, while women stayed home receiving visitors. Callers left engraved calling cards on silver trays if residents weren't receiving. Houses prepared special New Year's buffets and punch bowls for streams of visitors. The tradition required formal dress and followed strict etiquette rules about visit length. Young men used New Year's calls to court eligible daughters under parental supervision. Businesses closed January 1st specifically for social calling obligations. The practice reinforced social hierarchies and business networks through ritualized visits. Women's liberation and changing social structures made the gender-specific tradition obsolete. Today's New Year's Day is for football and recovering from New Year's Eve parties. Handwritten thank you notes. Children spent the week after Christmas writing individual thank you notes for every gift received. Parents enforced this rule strictly, withholding gift use until notes were completed. Notes required specific mention of the gift and how it would be used. Proper stationery and good penmanship were essential for acceptable notes. Schools taught formal letter-writing formats specifically for thank you notes. Adults maintained gift lists with checkboxes for received acknowledgments. Not receiving thank you notes was serious social breach requiring parental intervention. The ritual taught gratitude, writing skills, and social graces simultaneously. Email and text messages destroyed handwritten note traditions by the 1990s. Today's thank you might be Facebook post, tagging gift givers if anything. Christmas corsages. Women wore elaborate corsages to holiday parties, church services, and Christmas dinners throughout the season. Florists created special holiday designs using poinsettias, holly, tiny ornaments, and ribbons. Husbands ordered corsages for wives as romantic holiday gestures. Wearing corsages required careful outfit coordination and proper pinning techniques. The flowers marked special occasions and made women feel celebrated. Refrigerator storage between events kept corsages fresh for multiple wearings. Teenage boys gave girlfriend Christmas corsages for school dances. The tradition cost significant money during already expensive season. Casual fashion and feminist rejection of decorative femininity killed corsage wearing. Today, corsages appear only at proms and weddings, never holiday celebrations. Christmas bazaars. Churches and community centers hosted elaborate Christmas bazaars selling handmade crafts, baked goods, and gifts. Preparation started in January with year-round craft circles creating inventory. These weren't simple bake sales, but major productions with themed booths and decorations. Bazaars provided crucial fundraising for churches and created community social events. Women competed to create the most creative and profitable booth concepts. Handmade items included knitted goods, ceramics, woodworking, and preserved foods. Shopping at bazaars was social obligation supporting neighbors and community organizations. The rise of professional craft fairs and online shopping eliminated amateur bazaars' appeal. Today's church fundraising relies on professional services rather than member-made goods. Tinsel application. Families spent hours applying individual tinsel strands to Christmas trees, creating shimmering silver waterfalls. This wasn't handful tossing, but careful placement of each strand for maximum effect. Lead-based tinsel hung straight and could be saved annually if carefully removed. Children learned patience and perfectionism through supervised tinsel application. Removing tinsel after Christmas required equal care to preserve strands. Cats and toddlers made tinsel dangerous, requiring constant vigilance. The mess factor was enormous, with tinsel appearing in vacuum cleaners months later. Lead tinsel was banned in 1972 for toxicity, and plastic replacements never hung properly. Today's pre-lit trees and ribbon garlands replaced labor-intensive tinsel application. The meditation of slowly applying hundreds of tinsel strands is lost tradition. Radio Christmas music marathons. Local radio stations played nothing but Christmas music from Thanksgiving through New Year's Day. These weren't today's automated playlists, but live DJs choosing records and taking requests. Families kept radios playing constantly as holiday soundtrack to daily activities. DJs became holiday companions, sharing personal stories. Between songs. Request lines stayed busy with people dedicating songs to loved ones. Stations competed for listeners with exclusive recordings and special programming. The limited music selection meant hearing the same songs dozens of times. This repetition created powerful memory associations lasting lifetimes. Format consolidation and satellite radio eliminated local Christmas programming personality. Today's streaming services offer infinite variety but lack communal listening experiences. Workplace Secret Santa reveals. Office Secret Santa exchanges culminated in elaborate reveal parties with games and ceremonies. The mystery aspect lasted weeks with anonymous notes and small gifts leading to final reveals. Participants left clues about their identities through gift choices and wrapping styles. Guessing Secret Santas became office-wide obsession, affecting productivity. Reveal parties included games where people guessed their Santas before official announcements. Getting matched with difficult coworkers created drama and bonding opportunities. The $5 to $10 limits required creativity over expense. Human resources concerns about discrimination and harassment killed most workplace gift exchanges. Remote work makes Secret Santa logistics nearly impossible. Today's offices might exchange generic gift cards without personality or mystery. Community Christmas pageants. Every small town staged elaborate Christmas pageants using local talent and volunteers. These weren't school productions, but community-wide efforts involving hundreds of participants. Preparation started in October with auditions, rehearsals, and set construction. Local businesses sponsored costumes and programs, making pageants town-wide investments. Multiple performances accommodated everyone wanting to attend. Children played angels and shepherds while adults handled major roles. These pageants provided seasonal entertainment before cable television and streaming options. Participating in pageants became family traditions spanning generations. Insurance costs and liability concerns ended most community pageants. Today's entertainment options make amateur theatrical productions seem quaint and unnecessary. Thanks for joining us on this journey through 25 vanished holiday traditions. If these memories brought back your own holiday nostalgia, give this video a like and share it with someone who remembers these traditions too. And don't forget to subscribe for more trips down memory lane.